So you joined me today at Rudyard Lakes. I've fished here for the past 6 or 7 years or so, and over the years it's changed quite dramatically. When I first started coming, it was dominated with bream and skimmers, but as the years have gone by they've sort of dwindled in numbers. But the roach, perch, small skimmers and pommies are still here in abundance. So approaching this venue in a match, obviously I would look at the previous weights, see if the bream and skimmers are playing ball, and if they're not, I'd probably still give myself a chance of catching an odd one. But I'd be looking at plan B, fishing in and around 15 to 20 metres, just past long pole range, and maybe even underarm a feeder short if it was a feeder only match. 20 yards is as far as I'd like to go doing this sort of fishing, but there is a snag in and around 16-17 metres, and I need to give myself that little bit of insurance by going that little bit further. Then I'm not going to come into that snag. We are on peg 22 today. It's the end peg in the shallows, and then there's quite a big gap from me going to 23 where it starts. That's like the start of where it deepens off a little bit, but it's not too drastic. That's a little bit further on. So I'll start with the rod. Now I'm using a 10-foot tournament S, coupled with a tournament 4000 reel. Now I like a 4000. A lot of people say, well, why do you use a 4000 using a 10-foot rod? Well, I've got quite big hands, and not only that, as I've said, we're speed fishing, so that little bit bigger reel, just that bit more winding power and a little bit more on retrieve. That's why I use a 4000. The main reason I like a 10-foot tournament S is because of the short handle. I don't know if you can see there on camera, but it barely goes past my elbow. So when I'm doing an overhead cast at 20 metres, say, and I'm steering the feeder to my target as such, that butt doesn't catch in my pockets on my jacket. But obviously it's sunny now, I've got the sun shirt on, that's not really a problem, but still it's nowhere near my body when I'm steering a feeder on the cast. Using a 1/2 ounce mega top in the as the quiver tip, and then hole 12 Daiwa tournament sinking feeder braid. With conditions the way they are at the moment, with the sun and there's little to no wind on, that fast sinking braid is coming in perfect. It just means I can mend my line, get rid of all the bow as quick as possible, and I'm on my rest then fishing instantly. Using a small window feeder. It's quite important that you use a small feeder when you're fishing for these, because you're catching 250-300 fish. You're not going to be filling up a massive large window feeder or a medium as such when you're fishing such at a short range. And then coming down to the hook link, that's O12 fluorocarbon, 50 centimetre root length in total, and a 16 pole special. Ground bait wise, I've opted for a fish meal mix. Now, a lot of people will be like, well, you're fishing for small fish, why are you using fish meal? Well, I think what's happened over the years at Rudyard, lads have been coming on fishing for bream and using fish meal ground baits, and come the end of the day everyone just goes like that, chucks it in the edges, and that's where all the small fish are. And it's quite plainly obvious to see now that these small fish are eating fish meal ground baits. So all I did this morning was mix up Ringer's F1 Black with Ringer's Bag Up Mix. But I mixed it quite neutral, knowing full well that I was going to tweak things as the day went on. So I've got the main bulk of the mix there, like you would, where you can just nip a ball, so to speak, just to give you the general texture, the idea of the texture of it. But when you're fishing quite fast in and out, I mean it's only 7 foot deep here, I've had to slop it up, because I felt as if I was chucking in I was getting my bite, might miss it, might hit it, whatever, put it back down. But then like, I felt like I was spreading my bait all over, because when you was nipping it in the feeder, bear in mind I've been using a solid window feeder here, when I was nipping it in, it just felt like it was far too tacky. So I opted to slop it up just enough for it to hold in the feeder. This one's wetting up a little bit more. That feeder goes in, hits the deck, and it's sort of got like a bit coming off on the way down, but not too much. And then when it explodes on the bottom, all my bits of worms and everything are instantly accessible to them. And because I'm catching quite quickly, I'm not dragging that bait back further towards myself. Now, I've brought 3 baits with me today: maggots, pinkies and worms. Now, worms is a bit funny really, because like you can feed it sometimes, it's like the kiss of death, and that applies to fishing for small fish just the same as it does fishing for bream or any other like decent sized stamp fish. Today they definitely want to eat worms, that's a given. And I quite like that when they are eating worms, because it makes life easier as well, because you're fishing with a durable up bait. All I've been doing is fishing a little worm head, probably, what, 1/4 inch piece of worm. Sometimes threading it on when I'm missing too many bites, and then other times hooking it normal like you would do with maggot. So there we go, first proof. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. Nice, simple, easy tactics. 10-foot rod, soft tips, white hooks, white lines, bit of ground bait and some worms.